Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove, Neighbor Nation! We will see you on Saturday afternoon! Riley Meister gets the point!
Back into left field! Say goodnight to that baseball!
This is another one! It's back to back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas! He's the point, and it's alive! Hanson pushes it over! Unbelievable! We play on! That's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable.
QB1s, state champions, future Golden Flashes, and in a few cases, members of the class of 2028 for the first time playing in the official college contact window. A lot on the line today at Schoonover Stadium in Kent as you are watching Kent State Invite Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Our first matchup of the day, a good one. 4-4 Force Ohio versus 6-2 OSF. As always, we run the intro and then give our little intro here before we get into the action. And that's when I tell you my name is Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning. However, we had a slight order of operations change up. The reason why we didn't go on right away, we just got a last-second lineup change for OSF. They had 9 players heading into today. A 10th has shown up. That is huge for them going forward. Big for their depth. Now, Phobel, their pitcher, will not have to hit. In his place, it is going to be Halam in the 6th spot. It might not seem like a lot, but on a day like today, early in the morning, you have 9 guys, now 10. That 10th guy gives you so much flexibility going forward, and I am sure that'll impact the game at some point today. OSF, they will be the home team for the game number 1 today. As for Force, they will play 2 games here, and then they'll bump out. First pitch of the day is there for strike 1 from Phobel, and we are rocking and rolling at 8:31 in the morning. One of the earlier starts that we are going to see this year. This is, in fact, our first 8:30 first pitch of the season. And so far, Phobel is jiving with it. 2 strikes to begin on Brunner, the leadoff hitter for Force. Going to go Brunner, Lanzalata, and Sikora. 1 through 3, you have some outfield. Then the starting shortstop. The 0-2 misses well wide. I will say the 8:30 time slot is usually the first time slot of the day in travel baseball. I did check Game Changer this morning. There was a game going at 8 today somewhere, so at least it's not that. A high pop-up, well out of play, though. And so far out of play that it'll hit right next to us in the stands. So a high carry, but 1-2 count. Good contact to begin, but if this team is going to be successful, not just in this game, but in game number 2 against CBF, they need to swing the bats well, and this will help. A fly ball sent into right center. And it is going to be tracked down by the second baseman for out number 1. A simple snag there for Aiden McCord, the now graduate of NDCL. I know our NDCL fans not too pleased that we didn't have a couple of their players in the Player of the Week polls, but I'm sure all can be forgiven with a good performance today from Mr. McCord. And as well, I do want to put out there, we don't randomly pick players for Player of the Week. It is our players of the game, and the best ones from that week are then selected for that poll. So for those curious as to how that works, well, there's your explanation. And this week we do have some basketball, so there is a good chance that we just have a separate Player of the Week for basketball because it's 4 games and it works nicely for a poll. And beyond that, of course, baseball and basketball, it's apples and oranges. I don't think we want to compare a 7-inning, 15-strikeout performance to a 21-point game in Summer League. Don't really know how that one would actually shape up, but we're not going to find out. The 2-0 in the end will connect for strike 1 on Bo Lanzalata, the left fielder. Lanzalata just finished up his sophomore campaign at CVCA. A very successful season for the Royals, making it to the Final Four, bowing out to Bishop Waters in the eventual runners-up. As expected, Hamilton Baden did take home the title in Division III. Ended up beating Waterson as they just continue to look good year after year. The 3-1 is wide for ball 4, and Force will have their first base runner of the day, bringing up Trevor Sikora. Good patience there from Lanzalata, a big reason why this is a big day for him. Again, the contact window started on Monday. June 15th is that beginning period for the class of 2028. It's go time for them. if they want to go out and get the best offers possible, you have to show up and show out in the summer before the spring. This is your first chance to really go out here and show what you can do. You look at this Force roster, you go down the list, a lot of players in that category. Even on OSF, you have that. The big one, Jacob Mike, and the sophomore out of Ignatius. His emphasis is going to be football, and it's going to be a big season ahead for Tom Kaufman and company. And it starts right now. Slow chopper over towards third. The throw to one's not going to happen. So an infield-based knock for Cy Cora, able to leg that one out. And that'll bring us to J.J. Stahl for the DH. So some good hitting and some good running from Force in the top of the first inning. They want to strike early and often in this game. And for them, not just with pitching, but overall stamina, if one of these two games does not go the full 7, or with it the 2-hour time limit, you'll be set up going forward in this tournament. And with it just today. That's why I do want to make note, we were supposed to do 5 today initially, but in the end, the rain coming when it is, deciding we're going to do 4 good games opposed to 5 and rushing in the 5 and dealing with some conditions potentially at the end. Rather, keep the equipment intact and live to fight another day, so to speak. And as well, we do apologize for Saturday, a little miscommunication. The box was open, windows, everything open. Wind knocked it closed, and in the end, couldn't get in, but we figured it out, and the next time we're at Tri-C, we'll be good. Double steal incoming here. Throw down to third is not in time. That's how you execute it. The lead runner is always the linchpin in the double steal. He sets it. Then you see on the trail a good get-off from Cy Cora. You never know on that double steal. There easily could be a throwdown. It has happened before. You go to second just to try to get an out in the sequence. But Lanzalota and Cy Cora executed perfectly. And this will bring in a run. Ground ball over towards second. There is out number 2, but at the expense of the game's first run. A nice bit of hitting there by the DH Stauffer to make it 1-0 Force. That's why that double steal was so important. You don't steal there. This could easily be a double play, and the inning could easily be over. But so far today, both putouts coming from McCord at second for OSF. And with still a runner at third, that'll bring us to Chase Jansen, the third baseman. Top 1-2 down, Force, an early lead. And there is strike one from Phobel. Looking ahead to the bottom of the first inning, it'll be McKinnon, McCord, and Rook, 1 through 3 due up for OSF. Trying to go blow for blow, so to speak, with this Force team. Quickly 0-2 on Jansen with Gallup in the on-deck circle. At a minimum, you'll take the 1-0 advantage into the bottom of the first. And that is the parting line. Swing and a miss, this side is retired. Phobel ends the inning with his first strikeout of the morning. And that'll give his offense a chance to come in and match Force's efforts. 1 run scores on a sacrifice ground out from Stouffer. Middle of 1 at Kent. 1-0. It's Force on top.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Madden Resnick will definitely be pleased with his offense as he will step on the mound with a lead in the bottom of the first inning, 1-0 Force, courtesy of an RBI ground out in the top of the inning. Force initially being dubbed the home team via the website, but in the end, they do lose the coin flip and will have to play on the road. It's a big positive for them early, but of course, as we always have seen, and we've seen it come back to bite teams plenty of times, the home team, they have the last say in this game. And I think if OSF can keep this one competitive from here on out, they have a great chance to walk out of here with something. A big reason why they do have now a 10th player. A 10th player, again, it doesn't seem like much, but any bit of depth, especially early on in a tournament, it's huge. It could save you from going down 0-2 really early, or in just today's case, 0-1, as OSF only has one matchup this morning. Out of the teams that we see today, NMC Karavik and Force Goodrum will be the teams that have two matchups, both playing doubleheaders and playing in our two quote-unquote windows today. The morning session, a doubleheader for Force, and in the afternoon session, a doubleheader for NMC. 1-2 count on the leadoff hitter, McKinnon. It's Orange versus Orange here, Rising Senior versus Rising Junior. Resnick's 1-2 will miss wide. It'll be an interesting battle as there are a fair amount of players that we will see today pitching against some of their high school teammates. That familiarity can definitely go a long way in a close game. Now the 2-2, and again, it'll miss wide. Full count 3-2. Once again, McCord and Rook 2-3 to round out the top three this inning. And then from there, it would go to Howman, the first baseman, if OSF can get some offense going. The payoff pitch again wide for ball 4. Had him 1-2, but then missed wide on the next three offerings. And that'll give the center fielder first base and a chance for Aiden McCord to step in for the first time today offensively. Outside of the strikeout, both balls put in play. The putouts belong to McCord. Had the leadoff pop out to him in right center, and then the ground out, which brought in a run. And he'll begin by taking strike one. It'll be interesting to see how he matches up against the lefties and righties. He likes to go outside. We see it again here, even with a different batter, different side of the box in general. As that's just going to be where Resnick lives. Could be, but that time brings it a little bit in, and it is 0-2 on McCord. Seeing how pitchers operate is always a unique aspect of the game. No two pitchers are the same. Cadences, locations, pitch script, all of it is different. And a lot of it is just situational. The 0-2 McCord, a good hold. Thought about that one, but does the right thing and leaves it low. This battery partnership of Resnick and Lonzak will have to do a lot of good work today to get back into this game and stay there. Of course, 1-0, thinking, okay, getting back in the game, the leadoff man's on. You have to consider what can follow. And one run in one inning is not going to be enough. You have to stay in this game, and a lot of it does fall on the offense, but the defense too. You shut down OSF, you win this game. Resnick's 2-2, high for ball 3, and just like the first at-bat, great starts, but now in jeopardy of losing him. Second at-bat as well with 3 straight balls after 2 strikes. The only difference, a 1-2 count opposed to an 0-2 before the lineage began. Resnick's trying to battle back in against Aiden McCord, but he loses him high and in for ball 4. So 2 runners on now for Jason Rook. This is where I say it falls on the battery. Lonzak will go and talk to his pitcher. You have to have this conversation now. You've had 2 at-bats where you were dominating early. 1-2 and 0-2 counts. You cannot give up back-to-back walks in that situation. You have to find a way to get the job done, force a ground ball, just as long as it isn't a walk, or of course anything that brings in a run, you'll take it. They just need to find their rhythm here, and I think Forrest is contemplating going out and having a word with him. But it looks like for now they are content with Lonzak's words of wisdom. But for Rook, what an opportunity, or Rook early on, an opportunity to go out here and do some damage. Base hit probably scores a run, and he will come out swinging. Again, a good start to the at-bat for Resnick on the mound. The question is, and will always be until it is rectified, will he be able to go out here with 2 strikes and find the zone? The 0-1 swing and a miss. So back to where he was last at-bat, 0-2. You get this out, you bring the double play ball into effect. There is a foreseeable way to get out of the inning. Double steal on here, swing and a miss. There is out number 1. In the end, only 1 man will move up, so that'll put him at the corners. But exactly what we needed to see out of Resnick. 3 strikes, 1 down. That's how you find rhythm. It took him until the 3rd at-bat of the game, but you're still in a decent spot. Now, I think the runner from first will move up, and if not, I'd be surprised. If for some reason he stays put at first base, you now have a double play ball in effect that could keep it 1-0 if it is put over towards the middle. McCord will stay, but a nice snag from Lonzak. This is where the catching comes into effect even more so than just tutelage and setting up for the pitches. You have to be ready if that ball gets away. It is a deep backstop. Lonzak playing at Nordonia, not the deepest backstop. Kent, it is a full D1 backstop, as you would expect. It's unforgiving. Count 2-0 on Howman, the first baseman. Howman, the rising senior out of Lake Catholic High School. Of course, in 2025, the Cougars won a state championship beating Sandusky Perkins. McCord's going to go here. Is that a balk? Yes, it is. And that is why you send the runner before the pitch. You try to draw him off guard and kind of take him out of the equation. That little stutter step, it always gets the pitcher. And this time it brings in a run to tie up the game. That's why if that runner goes, you have to stay focused on the batter. This is the first time this season, though, that we have seen that play work out the way it's supposed to. A nice job from McCord. He draws in the run. He won't get credited with anything. That's the key. Nothing will be given to him on the stat sheet, but he made that one happen. And as a defense, that's where you have to say runner or have it worked out with your pitcher if he wants to go for that guy or not beforehand. And a late strike call there. That's the only thing I wish first and thirds also included. What you want to happen if that runner goes. Are we stepping off and throwing to second? Are we looking back the runner at third? Or are we pitching? You need to have that organized. Good swing here, but foul. So the count now runs full on Howman. It's still early on in this season, but you combine spring and summer, it's one of those that it's tough to give up at this point, especially when you're up 1-0. You had your way out of the inning, and now you're just going to fight to take a 1-1 game into the second, and that fight will have to be intensified here as that is the 3rd walk of the inning. So Howman will take his base, and that'll bring up Joey Nagy, the 3rd baseman. Another player out of Lake Catholic High School. So right now you look at where we are on the field. You have NDCL and Lake Catholic. Chardon and Menor by hometown. North Coast Conference by identity with those schools. But we'll see how the 3rd baseman can fare here. Good swing to get it going, but foul. We've talked about it this season as a key to victory across the board. Aggressive swings, not waiting back too much. Now, if you're not getting your pitch, yes, take it, and like OSF has done 3 times in this inning, take your base. But if it's close, go out there and attack. In baseball, you can't go and passively wait for something to happen. You have to spark your own offense. The 0-1 is well behind the batter. To the backstop it goes, and a pair are now in scoring position. That time there was nothing Lonzak could have done. I would even care to venture that some of the best catchers in the game right now would have had a hard time bringing that one in. Resnick trying to figure it out here as time is called. And I'm sure the concern as well, his hand just kind of shaking out that hand. Some of that could be on the mental side of the game, but with a pitcher, any little thing can throw you off, and it's definitely a scary thing, especially given the velocities that we're seeing kids have nowadays. Any little thing out of sorts, you're kind of holding your breath. And I feel like this is one of those cases that you hold your breath, especially just seeing that reaction. It wasn't really frustration, more of just pain, as he's going to take a couple of throws here. Yeah, I mean, I've seen my fair share of pitchers. That wasn't a look of frustration. That was a look of pain. And especially on that throwing hand, it's never what you want to see. And I think his day is going to be done, and it is. You always hate to see an injury, especially for a pitcher. And I just said it. Velocity. It is going up and up nowadays. It'll be an injury call to the bullpen here for Force. And as we take a break, we're just hoping that Resnick will be okay going forward as you are watching Kent State Invite Baseball on SmeeSports.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
The call to the bullpen has been made by Force in the bottom of the first inning. Just an unfortunate sequence for Resnick. You can see on that last throw, just lost control, and that ball went well to the backstop. Shook out his hand, tried to continue on. Just looks like something wrong there, and those injuries are always the worst, especially with pitchers. Going back to my time as a catcher, I missed a couple of games. I believe it was some kind of tendon soreness in the elbow. Anytime you threw, just kind of had that shooting pain up and down the arm. Baseball injuries are the worst. And it's not, of course, the traditional ACL, MCL, those injuries that you'll see across the board. It's the ones where you just throw a little too hard, you slide a little weird. It's the little things in this sport that kind of add up. It doesn't look like a harmful sport on the surface, but you play long enough and you get like me where the knees are not in good shape going forward. And you definitely pay the price afterwards. But for Force, their goal is damage control. It's 1-1. They did well to score in the top of the first inning. J.J. Stauffer drove in the run, and now he is the man to try and rectify this situation. And for him, this isn't about coming in and settling it down. Probably right now it's about going out here and potentially, just depending on how this game develops, throwing 4 to 5 innings. If he can do that, or this could just become a bullpen game for Force. It just depends on how they want to go about this, keeping in mind they play right after. And we go back to depth. Losing one of your key pieces this early, it's huge. His first pitch of the day will be a ball, as it'll stay with Joey Nagy, the third baseman. Count 2-1 after the 1-1 that Resnick left behind. High fly going into right field. This one will be tracked down for out number 2. Runner is going to take off for home, and he is going to score. OSF with a sac fly takes their lead. 2-1 now in the bottom of the first. Just a nice swing from Nagy, lofted it into right field, and McCord was able to do the rest. That's what you want to see from OSF going forward. You give up 1 to begin the game, out of sight, out of mind, now 2 away, and you have a chance to bring in some insurance here. The first pitch strike, it'll be Halam in place of Phobel. Again, going back to the depth, getting him in as the DH at the last hour was huge. Nice snag from Lonzak behind the plate, blocking that one. So 1-1 count on the DH. It is Jeremiah Brassfield, the right fielder, in the on-deck circle. OSF looking to continue the strong first inning. Good swing, but fouled off. So 1-2 on the DH. And we look ahead to the top of the second. It'll be Gallup, Smith, and Lonzak. 6 through 8 due up for Force. 2-1 your score, OSF on top. And another nice stop from Lonzak. 2 blocks on 2 balls this at-bat. Once again, this backstop, it is unforgiving. If that ball gets behind, it's 3-1. Every single block, you're saving a run. The 2-2, and again, springing into action, 3 blocks, we're full. Really impressive from what he has shown today in comparison to last year. He's really worked on it, and you can just tell, getting around the baseball and keeping it in front. It's been key as this ball is taken up the middle, snagged at short to save a run. Yes! An excellent throw from Sikora at short, and the inning is over. Lonzak did the job behind the plate, blocking 3. Sikora gets the put out at short, and it'll remain 2-1 as we enter the top of the second inning in Kent.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Both offenses get an early jump on things in the first inning. Forest plating 1, OSF plating 2. And now we go back to Forest here, trailing by 1, as you are watching Kent State Invite Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Just to recap what you have seen so far, RBI ground out from Stauffer back in the first inning, put Forest on the board. Then 2 runs come to pass for OSF, 1 on a balk, 1 on a sac fly. But the big storyline right now, Resnick out of the game for Force on the mound due to injury. It appeared to be some kind of hand injury as he was still shaking out his hand when he went back to the dugout. Got looked at by his team, tried to come back out and throw, but in the end was told, your day is done, go and rest. And now Stauffer, the DH, is on the mound for Force, and we will see him again most likely in the bottom of the second inning. But definitely an interesting dynamic coming up for Force's defense to see how they want to operate with the pitching staff. You come in today, you have 2 games, you kind of have an idea of who you want to pitch in what game. This definitely could change that. The 1-1 will miss wide for ball 2. But for the offense, it'll be Gallup, Smith, and Lonzak. 6 through 8 due up in the second. Again, your goal here is simple. At a minimum, tie. At best, take back the lead. But you still have time, even if not, it's still a long game ahead. Of course, that injury break will get you a little bit further into the time as it is a 2-hour time limit. But I don't really think that is the focus right now for Forest as they just want to go out here and play their brand of baseball. That'll help. There's ball 4 to Gallup, and the leadoff man is aboard. Second walk surrendered today by Phobel for OSF. We have seen our fair share of walks. Walk number 5. This game getting very, very close to becoming a repeat of last week's opener here at the College Tour. Of course, the no-hitter really not on the table. Well, technically, OSF doesn't have a hit yet, but they do have 2 runs, so that'll do for that. The difference was that was a true no-hitter, no runs coming around as Nolan Kleinbiel pitched a gem. But beyond that, we had nearly 20 free passes with hard 90s and walks combined. And that was only in 4 innings, I believe. Just showed how quick that game escalated. Swing and a miss, a good pitch high and in to get this one going on Eddie Smith, the right fielder. But Force has to understand they cannot give away any free swings, but at the same time, they have to be aggressive, and that is going to be, again, a key point of emphasis, especially for the guys in the class of 2028. This is the third possible day that you could play and be recruited to play college baseball. It's a really weird dynamic. I believe the old window was around July 1st, but it's right after the state championships for the OHSAA. They can see what you did there, yes, but here, if you do something really out of this world, you could get a phone call later from a college coach, which really is an exciting prospect for this class of 2028. The 0-2 will miss wide. Of course, recruiting has become so different now. NIL and everything. Being a high school player right now, trying to go to the highest level, it's not easy. It really doesn't happen unless you go and play prep ball. Weird pop over towards third, but foul. And you look baseball-wise in Northeast Ohio, some great players staying local. Of course, Sawyer Saltaria stayed at Ignatius all 4 years. He is their all-time hit leader. But what about a Jude Fisher, now pitching at Ohio State? He went prep his senior year to go and get better looks. Basketball-wise, Darren Peterson, 2 years at CVCA. Went the prep route for 2 years and is going to be a top 3 pick next week. Runner goes. There's the strikeout, and the throw down is going to be wide. Nearly came off the bag, but a nice job by Gallup recovering. But one down as Fobel gets his second punch out of the day, and that'll bring us to Grant Lonzak. We've talked about it quite a bit here on SmeeSports, whether it be with former athletes that dealt with some recruiting or not. It's just a completely different world unless you're talking about Division III, which I would say it's more of the same. And the main reason why there are no monetary obligations from the school. It's simply, hey, you can get some academic scholarships, you can get this, but it's not, hey, we're going to get all guys in the portal, high school kids won't play. Far from that. But you're talking Division II, Division I, you're going to see a lot of those lower-end guys. And, for example, a Bennett Sturts, who was with Nova for a long time, went up to Drake with his head coach, Ben McCollum, and now Iowa. Coaches want people that are established. But, of course, if you can stand out as, whether it be a rising junior in this case, or any of the high school classes now, and earn some game time, especially at that high level, more power to you. Again, it starts here. The 1-1, Lonzak, he will wear it. That'll put a pair on, one down for Hopkins. Another free pass this inning, the third surrendered by Fobel. So we are up to 6, and we are in the top of the second inning. Definitely less than ideal for these defenses. Does make things a lot more difficult going forward, especially if these do lead to runs. And speaking of runs, we will have a new runner. As it looks like it'll be the other number 24 on the roster, Danny Neal, going in place of Lonzak. I saw 24 for a second, and I don't think you'd put in your pitcher to run for your catcher. Could be wrong, though. But a 1-0 count to begin here on Hopkins, wearing number 17, the rising senior out of Mogador High School, standing at 6 foot tall, 200. Really good pop time, really good exit velo, just under 95 at 94.2. So one of the better bat speeds that we will see in game number 1. That time, waves and misses. For Fobel right here, he just needs to keep the game where it's at, which is easier said than done. But don't go out here and try anything crazy. And, of course, if you have a runner at third, don't balk. That was the real killer in the bottom of the first inning. That balk killed Force. Nice snag on the tip behind the plate from Shelton. Count now 1-2 on Hopkins. After the first baseman, it'll go over to the number 10 hitter. Force trying to get back in this game, down by 1. And Hopkins, good take on the 1-2. It'll be Gerard in the EH spot, batting 10th. If you're Fobel here, you cannot lose this at bat to Hopkins. Here's the 2-2. High and in. Did it get him? Hopkins is going to say yes, and I think the home plate umpire is unamused. He'll say no. Is he going to go check with his partner? Which would be an interesting one, we'll see, because you can technically appeal down. This could technically be an appealable play, but I feel like the home plate umpire had the best view of it. It's one of those, do you want the opinion of the second best view? Actually, yes, you do. Bases loaded. I have never seen a hit-by-pitch reversal from the field umpire. Again, you would think the home plate umpire has the best view of what happened. But it's the third free pass of the inning, second hit by a pitch in a row, and time is called. 7 free passes, and we are in the top of the second inning. As well, beyond that, we have 1 base hit, and it's an infield single. It is Groundhog Day from last Wednesday. It is the same game, just a closer score. And as of right now, not a 5-run inning for the visiting team in the seconds. I just don't know how you can reverse that, because again, the field umpire has the worst view. You would think the guy right up against it has that best view, because he does. And in most cases, if you don't have the best view, you don't have a say. But backs against the wall, OSF needs a stand here. And that'll help 0-1 on Gerard, the EH, the rising junior out of Solon. Again, his window just opened for college coaches. This is where you go out and make a statement. Chopper up the middle. This could be 2. They will throw home instead, and they will get the outs. I like the initial idea, thinking of turning 2. You look over at second base just in case, but that play always has to come home. If you're going to get the double play with the bases loaded, especially in a tight game, you're going to have to go, if that case, it would be 1, 2, 3. You have to go pitcher, catcher first. But the bases will remain loaded with 2 away as we go back to the top of the order with Brunner. But for Force, they have to find a way to capitalize here. If they can find their second base hit of the day, most likely it would have to be a true base hit, not an infield single. Then they'd probably tie this game up, and depending on the depth, they could take the lead. The 0-1 Brunner pulls this one over towards first, and that's the inning. A nice snag over at first by Howman, and that'll keep it where it is. Bases loaded, 1 down. Fielder's choice, ground out to first base. OSF stands tall in the top of the second, and it'll be their offense coming back for more in the bottom of the inning with Brassfield, Shelton, and Nagy.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
OSF looking for their first hit in the bottom of the second inning. Somehow, someway, up 2-1 on Force. They've had 1 combined base hit and 7 combined free passes so far. It has been a slugfest, so to speak. But it'll be the bottom 3, Brassfield, Shelton, and Nagy for OSF, trying to get the offense going. And this can help a perfectly placed bunt, and Brassfield is easily going to beat that one out. It'll be an infield bunt single, but a leadoff base knock nonetheless for OSF. That was a thing of beauty. That ball was perfectly down the left field line. Into no man's land, really. And with that speed we saw last year with the brass fields. Some of the fastest players that you are going to see play. You get that ball down in a good spot, there is no chance that he is going to be gunned out. I mean, by the time that ball got there, he was halfway into right field. That's just the speed that he brings. He now wants a stolen base on top of it, and he will get it. Stays on the bag, nearly sliding off. A big reason why that is the case today, there is still some wetness around this facility because it did rain overnight. In fact, when I got here at around 7-ish, the bleachers were completely soaked still. There still is some signs of water around the campus. See if we can get any view of it. That's a good shot, yeah. Just some water, especially on the shiny metal. It's still here. And I think it'll be an issue until later on in the day, but there is ball 4. So another free pass, the 8th combined of the game. And that'll bring us to A.J. Nagy in the 9th spot, the left fielder. 2 on, none down. A chance for OSF to have a big second inning. And I don't know if they would do it, but a bunt is definitely on the table here. I wouldn't be surprised to see it from Nagy. At the same time, we've seen one this inning. Do you go with a second? You easily could. Right now, the answer is no, as that pitch is well high and in. I think it's just like the swinging mantra. You don't show bunt or anything until you see a strike, which sounds counterintuitive because then you have one chance to get it right. Double steal here. They're going to throw down to second for it. The tag is not there. I said it last inning when we saw the double steal. Wouldn't be surprised to see a throw down to second. That time we get it. And the need for the bunt has really been taken away. Especially if this is a walk, then you load the bases for the top of your order. That would be huge. And right now, OSF is 1 ball away from making that happen. Stauffer needs to find the zone here, and he will swing and a miss. The on-deck circle once again. It's the top of the order in McKinnon. Good shot into right field. This one, it's going to get down. 1 run will score. It'll be an RBI single for Nagy. That'll make it 3-1 OSF. Their first base hit of the day drives in a run. Nothing more that you could ask of there. And still none down. So a chance for OSF to really run away with this game in the second inning. And again, it's the top of the order coming in. Runner goes, pitches wide, throw down to second. It's going to be close, and I believe he's going to be safe on both. I think he did kind of slide off. That's why they had to go out there and show both. But in the end, he is safe, and it'll stay none down. And now, again, 2 runners in scoring position. Ground ball up the middle, skying off the mound and just dying there. So it'll be another RBI single. This one's staying in the infield. That one's just so unfortunate for this Force defense. There's nothing else that you could have done. It just skipped off the mound and kind of sat there. So McKinnon an RBI single, and now we will turn to McCord. Time is going to be called here. And now my question is, did he get clipped? That would make sense why it went the way it did, because off the mound, it shouldn't shoot out to the right side. I think it may have made contact with the pitcher. We'll see here. I think the big indication will be if he gets a warm-up pitch, which, yes, he is going to get one, so I believe it did hit him, which, again, makes a lot of sense. We'll see here. They've already had to make 1 injury pitching change. And thank goodness it looks like Stauffer is going to be good to go. Just really unfortunate to see how this game has gone for Forrest. The injury is killer. There's nothing you can do. There really isn't. So Aiden McCord 0 for 0 with a walk, trying to keep the good times rolling. But he will get jammed up a high pop-up. It's Lanzak's ball, and Lanzak will make the grab. Nice catch in the sun for out number 1. Far from an easy play to make behind the plate, especially with the sun in your eye. That's one that easily could get down behind you, and based on the angle it took, that ball would probably bounce fair. It's not the one where, hey, if it bounces on the line and goes foul, no harm, no foul. Or in that case, no harm, and it is foul. But still, point being, that one could have definitely gotten down and loaded the bases again. Weak grounder going over towards short. It's going to be a rushed play. They will get the out at second just in time for out number 2. But in the end, 1 run does score for OSF. That'll make it 5-1. Another good sacrificial ground out. So just Rook on the bases now with 2 away as Hellman will step in. 3 runs coming across this inning for OSF at least. And now a good swing over into third and caught. Just a nice line drive quickly made. And the inning is over. But how about it for OSF's offense putting it together in the second? They get their first base hit, and with it, 3 more runs. To the third we go. OSF up 5-1 on force.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Welcome back to Schoonover Stadium on the campus of Kent State University. Top of the third inning. 5-1 your score, OSF on top, as you are watching Kent State Invite Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Back to work on the defensive end for OSF as their first pitch will miss high and in for ball 1. Fowell will stay on the mound here in the third, and I would say for the foreseeable future, as he will take on 2 through 4, Lanzalota, Sikora, and Stauffer. You just look at the way this game has gone. Forrest getting the opening word in the top of the first inning. Since then, 5 unanswered from OSF. Some of it just good base running, some of it box, and a few of them just some good swings. The 1-1 ground ball hit over towards short. Throw to 1 is there. 1 up, 1 down. Another nice put out from Rook at short for this OSF defense. Going forward, if they can just continue to go 3 up, 3 down, or even if a runner does get on 4 up, 3 down, something like that, they're in a great spot to win this game and potentially do it a little bit early. Not the way that Force would have drawn it up, but I think just for the sake of their depth, if this game does end early, they wouldn't mind it. And it's kind of almost a necessity at this point. So 0-1 the count on Sikora, the shortstop. 1 for 1 today with a single. One of the top players in his class, as we saw him last year for IVL Ventura. A really solid player for Avon. An Avon team that just won a 7-on-7 state title in June. Really impressive just to see how they have gotten on the last couple of years football-wise. Of course, Coach Elder, a proud alum of Mount Union. And we did get to see him over at the Mount John Carroll playoff game this past December. coming fresh off of back-to-back state titles at Avon. The 1-2 high and out. Sikora infield velo of 81, 6'1", 160. He was a top talent last year and continues to be that for Avon. A big junior season coming up. Swing and a miss that time. It's 2 up, 2 down. And Phobel will get his third strikeout of the day. Not a heavy strikeout game for either side. One for Resnick before he exited the game. Stauffer couldn't find one last inning. Phobel has the lead with 3. But so far, the defense has told the story in regard to the outs. But overall, the offense has written the book for this one. For OSF, in the bottom of the inning, it'll be Nagy, Phobel, or rather, Hallam in his place, and Brassfield. 5 through 7 due up. I'm not going to say it's the main reason why he's pitching well, but is part of it the fact that he doesn't have to worry about hitting? Could be. Could definitely be some correlation there. We'll see later on in the tournament how he does batting. But it's one less thing he has to worry about. Doesn't have to run the bases or at least run out a single or something like that. Go and focus. Between innings, just gets to go there. Maybe take care of his arm a little bit. And get ready to go back out in the next top inning. The 2-1, a good take for ball 3. The on-deck circle after Stauffer. It'll go to Jansen, the third baseman. Force looking to keep this inning going by getting a runner on. And they will. There's ball 4. So yet another free pass. That has been the biggest talking point, in my opinion, for this game. Both sides with the walks and hit by pitches. It has been too much. And going forward, they will have to rectify that if they are to have a successful tournament. Especially when you look ahead today in the afternoon session, NMC is a team that if you give up all those free passes to them, they have the 4 to 5 guys to go and punish you. Not to kind of spoil what's going to happen there, but you have Colorado now committed to Kent State. River Blomquist, another really good hitter for them out of Medina. Top team. That's one of those that if you face them in this tournament, you cannot make a mistake against. And this is an invitational tournament. This isn't where your team just goes on a website and signs up. There's a reason why you're here. You are asked to be here in Kent, and of course, the other part of it, Akron. But you're asked to go to this MAC tournament, so to speak. Did that ball hit him? They're going to say no. That ball easily gets to the backstop, and it's an easy base for the runner. Of course, Stauffer being ran for. That could be Sikora. Trying to check down over at second. It'll be Neal, in fact. So 24 for 24, a straight swap. Of course, there is that courtesy runner in place for the catcher and pitcher in this tournament sequence. And right now, Phobel just trying to find it again. For OSF, only one game today, but they don't have to go to their pitching department too early. Ready for the 2-0, and again, high. Now, if the offense can come out and play a few more runs, they're asking him to get maybe 6 more outs after this inning, so a total of 7. That makes it a lot more manageable opposed to still going through 7 as things stand. That'll help his case, though, on the 3-0, going to the bottom of the zone and connecting. Jansen so far today 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Trying to change history here. But he will go back to full from 3-0. Obviously, you take the 3-0 and then the 3-1 fouled back. So 3-2, a chance now for Phobel to get out of this inning. And with it, potentially a 4th strikeout in 3 innings of work. Instead, there's ball 4. That ball gets away to the backstop, and it's a free base over to third. So runners at the corners now with 2 away after back-to-back walks. And George Gallup will have the big chance to try to drive in 1. Force needs to get back on the board here. If not, this game is going to get out of hand quick. And in some ways, this game has kind of already gotten out of hand. Now, the only issue for OSF going forward if they were to warm somebody up in the bullpen, as instead we're going to have a rundown here. An interesting one. They did not send the lead runner. So in that case, it's just a free base. And going back to what happened with the balk, I don't know if you try that play. But they have 10. Yes, it helps out your pitcher that he doesn't have to hit. On the opposite end, you don't really have any space to warm up a pitcher. If you warm him up, it'll have to be in the bottom of an inning. You'll have to go out and hope that he is not in the lineup coming up soon. Or if he is, that he can go out there, hit, and come back to warm up. Which if you were to do that and call courtesy, you'd have to put him in. Which I don't even know if that would be possible to make that lineup switch when you're not on defense. It'll be an interesting one if it does actually happen. But right now, Foble just needs to dial it in and find the zone. Six runners today have reached on free passes for force. 4 walks, 2 hit by pitches. And there's ball 3. So dangerously close to a 5th walk today. And with it, that would be the 7th free pass surrendered by Foble. Again, 5 and 2 would be the split. And 5 and 2 will be the split. There's ball 4 to Gallup. Base is now loaded for Eddie Smith, still 2 away. Force yet to score this inning, but one swing can change that. Time is now called. And is this going to be a talking to, or is this going to be a cold turkey call to the bullpen? Just kind of ripping the Band-Aid off and trying to live life without Foble on the mound. I don't know if you make this move here. I think this is where you try to settle him. I just think going in and throwing a guy in with no time to warm up would be tough. But of course, with the depth, you might have to make that change. Now, if there's another walk, yes, you absolutely 100% have to make that call. We've seen 3 walks in a row after a 1-2 start to the inning. The defense is definitely a key factor here. But these free passes, you have to avoid it at all cost. 7 on one side, then you count it up for OSF's lineup. 1, 2, 3, 4. They draw on 4. So we have 11 combined free passes, 9 combined walks, and 2 hit by pitches. And we are in the top of the 3rd inning. And with it, we are about an hour in, so we are behind schedule. So it's definitely an interesting way to begin the day here. 4 games at Kent for us. As there is ball 1 high and in. Up next at 10:45, it is going to be a matchup between Force Ohio and the Cleveland Baseball Federation. The 0-1, or rather the 1-0, connects for strike 1. But I would say Foble a very short leash. If you give up nothing here and you go out and score a bunch, maybe you keep him in. If not, I think you have to warm up your next guy in the bottom of the inning. But Foble is 1 strike away from getting out of this jam. Goes 2 up, 2 down, to begin the frame. Back-to-back-to-back walks. But Foble, a chance for a positive ending. And he will get it. Swing and a miss. The side is retired. Again, 2 up, 2 down to begin the inning. Foble has to battle back after walking the bases loaded. But it'll remain 5-1 OSF. Their offense, they have been hungry today. 2 runs and 3 runs so far in the 1st and 2nd inning, respectively. The pattern says 4. Will they get 4? Find out when we return to Schoonover Stadium.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com. or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location
at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Before we get back to the action, if you or someone you know is a business owner looking to sponsor broadcast or advertise on broadcast in the Cleveland or Stark County area, contact us at one of those avenues on your screen, and I would love to work out a deal with you to promote the best of your business and your brand. As always, thank you to the Healthy as You Chiropractic Center and CrossFit Strongsville for making today's telecast possible. And of course, we will see them 3 more games today. Game 1 of 4 for us will have the 10:45, 1, and 3:15 windows live here. The 5:30 game between Forest Cruz and T3 Mendoza. We will not be here for once again. The rain slated for around 8 o'clock. We stay. We probably bring the rain with us, and we're cleaning up with electronics in the rain, which doesn't really take a rocket scientist to put 1 and 1 together and say that's no bueno. So we're going to do the 4 games and go on from there. Deep fly ball into center field. And it's going to get down just over the center fielder's head. It'll be extra bases to begin the bottom of the 3rd inning. Looking for a triple, and OSF is going to get it. A perfect swing from Joey Nagy. The third baseman goes to his native base with a leadoff triple. He absolutely got the better part of that baseball, uncorked, and put it just over the center fielder Brunner's head. Nothing more he could have done there. Made a great effort to try and bring that one in. But from there, it was off to the races, and we quickly get back to the action. That one's going to be caught over at short. And a nice dive back to the bag for out number 1. But Sikora could have had a double play there if the runner would have committed a little bit more. And now it's time for Jeremiah Brassfield to step back in. 1 for 1 today. Bunt single last inning. And that was a perfect bunt single, might I add. But OSF, they have come out swinging. That's what they have to do going forward. I think if this team is going to do things in this tournament, it is going to be because they are the aggressor. Brassfield fouls it back, and off the net it goes to stay inside the turf. After Brassfield, it goes to Doug Shelton. As well, it does appear the first remnants of the CBF team have started to make their way to Schoonover Stadium in anticipation for their game up next. Brassfield, in the meantime, gets knocked on the 0-2. That's one of those that you have to avoid. You have them where you want them. You give up another free base, the 3rd hit by a pitch today. 12 combined free pass between these teams. That's one you have to avoid going forward. And now here comes Shelton, the catcher. Kind of surprised that Brassfield stays over at first base as there is strike 1 to the catcher. But again, I think he might just go once he gets set to try and draw another balk. We've seen it already happen once, but he's going to stay put again. To be fair, Lontek does have a pretty good arm behind the plate. But I think if there is a throwdown, you would see it cut off. I think they want to try and keep this one 5-1. Brassfield goes, Lontek will throw down, and what do you know? It's going to be a rundown because he cuts it off. And now you just have to kind of run him down. Runners in no man's land. We have 2 rundowns. Play at the plate. Not in time. He is safe. And that'll put Brassfield over at second. That was perfectly worked. Even better than going for the balk. He takes his base, and he brings in the run anyway. That's one of those you have to be careful as if you get caught in no man's land and make too many moves. this happens. And there weren't too many throws. It wasn't anything along those lines. It was just a great relay home and a great sprint as he dives on in. So 6-1 OSF in the bottom of the third. And Shelton's job has been made a little bit easier. There is ball 4. So when we say easier, I mean a lot easier. Another walk. 2 on 1 down, and now here comes Nagy in the 9 spots. 1 for 1 today with an RBI single. But OSF is well on their way to a convincing victory in game number 1 today. And for them, they'll be 1 and done, and they'll take that. It's never easy playing on a Wednesday in a tournament. These ones usually run Thursday to Sunday. Some now kind of having that Wednesday opener, and in some cases, like we saw with the Diamond League tournament, a Monday close. With pitching, that definitely does change things. Double steal here as that one is fouled back. Like next time, you know the runners are going. I get the hit and run could be on. I would understand it. Maybe be a little bit more patient, let them get into a spot that they can come home. And then from there, swing away. But wouldn't be surprised if they go again, or at least brass fields. In the end, both runners stay put, and there is ball 1. In the on-deck circle, it is McKinnon at the top of the order for OSF. Up 6-1, a 5-run advantage in the third. Now Brassfield goes, swing and a miss, throw down to third, and he is safe. Just gets in there. And in the end, the trail runner will come up. It's a strikeout, but a positive strikeout. Stauffer gets his first. Both runners advance. 2 down now. My question is how he got around that tag. I mean, that throw looked pretty nice from Lonzak. We'll see back on the replay. Again, not a bad jump. Nope, the tag just wasn't applied. Third base, tag towards kind of the left side, and he went right around. That's the right call. But that's when you have to get your glove down there. You have a chance to end the inning on a double play. It's unfortunate. That's a frustrating one as a catcher, especially if he goes back and looks. Your throw was there. The throw was perfect. You just have to get that glove down. Or at least attack the arm. You can't attack just where you think he's going to go. Especially with Javi Baez doing what he did back in the day. That swim move has become a little bit more popularized, and it wasn't even a full extension swim move. It was just he kind of shimmied out of the way. The 2-1's high. Lonzak thought about the back pick, but in the end holds it. He's been very active today. Probably the most active player on this Force team. Plenty of blocks, saving plenty of runs earlier on in the game. And now just trying to work on the bases as well. But there's ball 4. The bases will be loaded now for Aiden McCord. The walks just continue. We might actually get into the 20s with combined free passes in game number 1. Again, you can't have it. Both teams need to do better with the walks and hit by pitches. And is that a balk? It is the second balk today from Force that'll bring in a run. It's 7-1. And you can't have that either. You can't have the free passes plus the 2 balk runs. So at least a 2 spot for OSF. The bases won't be loaded, but again, that takes a little bit of pressure away from McCord. Good swing, though, to get things going as he fouls it off down the right field line. As well, make sure you do stick with us after our final commercial break in game number 1, as we will announce our player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. A lot of options early on. The 0-1, McCord, fly ball sent into foul territory and right. And this one is going to be caught by the second baseman, and the inning is over. OSF will strand 2 in the bottom of the third, but they bring in 2 as well. To the 4th we go, 7-1, OSF in control against Force.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com
or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Three innings in the books in our opener today at Kent State University's Schoonover Stadium. 7-1 OSF on top. A 2-spot in the first, 3-spot in the second, and back to a 2-spot in the third. Force, they need some offense going forward as there is strike one. Phobal will remain on the mound here for OSF going forward as he will have the bottom three in Lonzak, Hopkins, and Gerard to take on. But you look at the way this game has developed. I counted it up during the break. I believe it's accurate. 11 walks, 3 hit by pitches, 14 combined free passes, plus the 2 balks from Force. You add that in, you have 16. So that's 16 bases off the rip, which have been paraded around that have come around to score. Of course, the balks bringing in runs inherently because there was a runner at third. But both teams, a lot to work on going forward. For OSF, they look to be on the better end of this one. But they need to figure out a few things heading into the rest of their Kent State invite schedule. Again, these teams are here by invite. The 2-2 Lonzak, good rip over towards short and third. It's going to be bobbled, and it'll be an infield single for Grant Lonzak. Very nearly a seeing eye single, knocked down at the end, but the left side couldn't bring it in. Nagy and Rook both there. I believe Rook knocked it down. But in the end, it'll die in no man's land, and Force will get a leadoff runner to begin the fourth. Couldn't really check or really tell last inning, but I don't think OSF warmed anybody up. I think right now they're just going to see what Phobal can do from here on out. You have a 6-run lead, and you know the time limit is probably not going to have this game extend to the 7th inning. It's 9:43. We probably have a start time of around 8:25, just depending on when that meeting ended. So you have probably until around 10:25 to start a new inning. You're running out of time, and I think maybe we get to the 6th. Maybe we see OSF score a couple more runs and we're done. Wouldn't be surprised. I think if they can get to a run rule, then more power to them. They definitely want to save pitching. Force, I think, just knowing that this game is relatively out of reach, wouldn't mind it either. They can save some pitching and with it, get some guys some rest before the next game against the CBF. This one was always going to be the simpler of the games. Everybody's coming in freshness, or with freshness. You have everybody available. You have an injury. You have guys fatigued. And now run down to second. They will get the outs. A nice play in the meantime. But going back to what I was saying with that, I think you're at a point where you go to this next game, your guys are going to be a little bit fatigued. If they can get a little bit of extra rest and not have to play a full 7, as much as you don't want to lose game 1, you might be a little okay with it. Now 2-2 on Hopkins. He got hit his first time up. But another tough break there for Force. You get a runner on. Just no way to advance them other than that move, and they picked them off quite nicely. just going forward. And this Force team, if they can figure out a few things, especially the free passes, they can be competitive in this tournament. The 2-2, a good drive into center field, and it is going to be tracked down and caught for out number 2. A nice job tracking it down by McKinnon. Had to sprint in quite a bit, but of course your first step always has to be back in center field. Does it perfectly, and is able to track that one down with ease. And I will say the way the sun has situated, it's still bright on the field, but I don't think it's as brutal as it could be. I think today is going to be one of the cooler days, and a big reason why you do have that storm front coming in overnight. But it's still going to feel like 80-something on the turf. If the sun can be kind of out of sight, it's still going to be an issue, but relatively out of sight, out of mind, then I think that'll help these players stay more conditioned going forward. That's the best way probably to put it. The sun is brutal, especially in the summer. In the spring, it's not as brutal in my opinion. It's a lot cooler outside. You have some days that you play in the 30s. But in the summer, if it doesn't hit 80, you are probably on cloud 9. Today, it looks like might be one of those days, but with the real feel, it's going to hit 80. So 2-1 count. Gerard looking to extend this inning and not have it be a 1-2-3 frame. Swing and a miss there. Count even. Phobel looking for his 4th strikeout of the game. As for OSF, you go and play a few more in the 4th inning. Your job here is done. That'd be a great way to start out this tournament. But still a little ways to get there as the count now runs full 3-2. Again, you get on here, you extend the inning, you go back to the top of your order. Payoff pitch is high for ball 4. So we will go back to the top now with Brunner. 0-for-2 today, but a chance to change that here. If Force is to rally, the time is now. They're running out of time. They don't have probably, as we've said, the full 7 innings to get it done. You have to go out here and get your best couple of swings put together and see if that does amount to anything. Again, if you have that extra runner on, which would now be at second because of that walk, you're in a spot 2 on 1 down. You're probably more inclined to go out here and try some new things. It's just 1 runner on, 2 down. You don't want to overextend yourself, and that's kind of the catch-22 of it all. You want to go out here and, of course, win any game you play. But you don't want to go out here and a game you're down by 6 and put all your chips into the pots. Ground ball over towards short. Nice snag by Rook, and a nice throw over to second, but it's just going to get away from the second baseman covering. McCord couldn't get there quick enough. Rook did an excellent job to knock that one down. But in the end, the inning will continue, and that'll bring us to Bo lands a lot of the left fielder, a walk and a ground out for him so far. But this is where you have to put together those good swings. And again, I hate to be the guy who brings it up, but you don't get that runner out. It's bases loaded, 1 down. A good rip from Lanzalotta, but knocked down at first, and the inning is over. What a snag from Howman. That's how you close out an inning, and that is how you make a defensive statement. After allowing a run in the top of the first, it has been clean for OSF. To the bottom of the 4th we go. It's OSF in control, up 7-1 here at Schoonover Stadium.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
All things considered, a great start to the Kent State invite for OSF. Up 7-1, bottom of the fourth inning. One of the strongest offenses that we have seen this year. One of the most consistent offenses that we have seen this year. Scoring at least 2 runs in every inning so far. 2-3-2 the run through 3. First pitch of the inning hits the outer corner for strike 1. Time now 9:50. So once again, in regard to that time limit, definitely getting close to the end of this game. Of course, if you are OSF, you want to go out here and try to get a run rule win. You don't want to simply win by, okay, it's 2 hours, we're done. You don't want to win by that notion if you can help it. The 0-2 is wide, but a nice snag by Lanzak again. Not too many pitches have gotten behind him today. It has been a lot of really strong defense behind the plate from him, and he has had to manage a lot. There is strike 3, looking a good frame on the back end. 1 down. That is how you start the inning for Stauffer. He gets his second strikeout of the game. If you were to shut down this OSF offense, it starts with getting a leadoff out. First time you've done it today. Walk, bunt, and triple in the leadoff spot otherwise. Strikeout changes the narrative. And with one away, that'll bring up Howman, the first baseman. One heck of a snag over at first base to close out the top of the inning. A run-saving out as well. He doesn't knock that ball down, at least 1, if not 2, come around. And at that point, you're looking 7-3 opposed to 7-1. Slightly different game and a more manageable outcome for Force. Good rip, but a foul down the right field line. I'm not saying that if those 2 runs score that you're back in the game and that they're going to come back and win the game. Not at all. But you have a more realistic route to making that happen. And it does look like now in the bottom of the fourth inning, there will be some action in the bullpen for OSF. Ground ball chopped over towards first. Nobody to cover. It's a sprint to get there. And that ball is going to get away. They'll think about Teal. He'll stay put. And now the question is, did that ball get out of play? And the answer is yes. So it'll be another free base given to OSF. And Howman hustled that one out, did everything right. In the end, takes a base error and makes the most of it. You just needed to know who was crashing down and who was to cover. You had both second and first. That was probably second base's ball more than first base's. Pitcher a little bit late to the party, getting to the bag. Could have happened a number of ways differently. But of course, that's one of those things that you have to communicate, just like the box where you saw the runner go. Do you step off? Do you go for that out? Or do you just go on and ignore him? Those are the little things that both teams can work on going forward that can allow them to play a more complete game. And I wouldn't be surprised if going forward, you'll see some kind of communication with that. Between games, you have a chance to make that adjustment. I wouldn't be surprised as well if whoever's catching game number 2 says, hey, we need a signal. What do we do if the runner goes in this case? It doesn't happen often. But the one time it happened today, it resulted in a free run. You get rid of the box and you have that extra hit as well. You're seeing how this game snowballs, and of course you go down the rabbit hole to make that happen, but 3 different plays. And it's a 5-3 game. Runners go here, throw down to third. It's going to be high, and into left field it goes. And that will make it 8-1 OSF. Excellent hustle around the bases for OSF. This is what they do so well. Now the base is clear again. Up by 7. You're getting close to a run rule. I believe 8 after 5 does do the trick, so you're close to that, but 10 after 4 still possible as well. And there is ball 4 high and in. So a 1-out walk to Nagy. And that'll bring us to Howell in the DH. Once again, after our final commercial break, when this game is over, make sure you stick with us as we will announce our player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. Swing and a miss, a heavy cut for 0-1. Good swing, right idea, just couldn't connect. Stauffer 2 strikeouts today since coming in the first inning. And that wayward throw is going to get it to the back fence over behind first. And it's another free base for OSF. They have taken advantage of that so well today. And that'll serve them well going forward. The next 3 games of pool play are going to be massive. You take this momentum, you have a chance to be fighting for a tournament championship this weekend. Again, I would say just looking at the rosters and what we've seen from them so far, NMC Karavik is the favorites. Definitely a good team that we will see later on today at 1 and 315. But as far as this one goes, OSF a few runs away and a few outs away from putting the finishing touches on their opener and getting out of here with a convincing victory over Force. Good swing to stay alive there from Hallam, fouling it back. In the on-deck circle, it goes to Brassfield, so plenty of speed coming up for OSF. With 1 down, you could think about the bunt, but again, I think they just want 1 more run at least, if not more. Good take as that ball gets away from Lonzak. You could think 2 bases here. He thought about it, and he will make a scamper back to third, and he is going to be safe. Just gets back in there. Got a little too greedy on the back end. But that'll put runners at first and third with 1 away. And it's back-to-back walks surrendered by this Force defense. Again, when it's all said and done, we'll have to tally up the free passes, but I think we are a few away from 20 still. I think we're around 17. I could be mistaken. I could be missing one, but I think we're at 17. Brassfield, he will fake the bunt. I'm not surprised. I think that's one that you think about it for sure, but I would rather them try to get another balk run. In my opinion, send the DH, you will, and the bunt will go foul. But I think you're at the point where, okay, they're content with it. They know what to do now. You're not going to catch them off guard a 3rd time with that bunt play. If you do, all the power to you, but I just don't see it happening a 3rd time. Runner goes again. Pitch is low. Throw down to second. It's going to be cut off. Back pick to third. It's close, but not in time. I believe dropped on the back end as well. So that'll be a stolen bag in the end for Hallam. And Brassfield now a chance to drive in a pair. Bunt again, the bunt. He will get it down over towards first. No one's there. The throw to first at the end is not going to be in time. Brassfield will beat it out, and he drives in run number 9. His 2nd bunt hit of the day. He is 2 for 2 with an RBI and 2 bunt singles. That's impressive. That is not a stat line that you see all too often. But he gets it done there and still 1 down. Another really good inning for OSF. So right now it's 2-3-2-2, and it looks like there will be some action in the pen for Force. But you're really close to this run rule inducing run over at first. And this one we sent up the middle. Could be a double play. An easy stop at 2. And there is the pick over at 1. It'll be a 6-3 double play. And the inning is over. But another 2 spot for OSF. Consistency has been their name today. They lead this one by 8. 9-1 your score as we enter the top of the 5th.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
OSF is 3 outs away from getting the opening win at the Kent State Invite. 9-1 your score. 8 runs after 5 is enough to end the game via the mercy. And after scoring the opening run today, Force, they've just struggled to get back on the board. They've come close a couple of times. But OSF's defense, they have put on a clinic, and they are deserving of this victory, assuming this result holds. And even if not, you have about 20 minutes to start a new inning after this. Odds are you're not going to get past the 6th inning, even if we get there. Which, obviously, if you're getting these 3 outs quickly, we are not going to get there. But again, still a chance for Force, as here is Sikora followed by Stauffer and Jensen. 3 through 5 due up in the top of the 5th, trying to keep their hopes alive in game number 1. Fly ball sent into left field. One of the first times the ball has been put in the outfield today, and it is going to be caught in left for out number 1. An easy snag out there for Nagy. And now the magic number becomes 2 for this OSF defense. And the big thing is Phobel. Had his struggles, had somebody else get warmed up. If he can complete this game, go the distance, a 5-inning complete game, that would be massive for him going forward. And as well for this pitching staff. You use one arm in one game. That's big. Now this one's taken into right field and caught for out number 2. Going corner to corner, this time it's Brassfield. And OSF is 1 out away from the coveted opening victory. And with it, Phobel is in line for a 2-hitter. 1 run, 2 hits. Impressive work from him today. But needs 1 more out. And it is Jansen stepping in, the last man standing for Force. And he will swing and miss, chasing the high heat. One final reminder, stick with us after our final commercial break as we will announce our player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. Phobel's 0-1, skips in. A lot of good players up for it, but just kind of based on what we've seen from him today, I think it is at least in my mind, a pretty clear-cut answer. The 1-1 taken over towards left field and through. It'll be a 2-out base knock for Jansen. And that'll take the 2-hitter and make it a 3-hitter now for Phobel. As for Force, your game-saving run now stands at first base. It'll be Gallup to try and continue to the game now. You can't do anything too crazy here. One more mistake and this game is over. And Phobel just continues to find the zone. He has dialed it up at the end. Some early struggles, yes, and just some early struggles for both teams. But OSF did better in the end, working out of it. Throwback to 1, not in time, not really close. Once again, up next, it is going to be Forest, Ohio taking on the Cleveland Baseball Federation. That game slated to start at around 10:45 this morning. The 0-1 is going to go off the catcher, and the run-saving run now stands in scoring position for Force. An interesting dynamic here, a chance that we do see the bottom of the 5th inning after all. And I think if we do, we would see a pitching change for Phobel. I don't think he would remain in the game at that point. Maybe. Of course, if the offense then comes around and scores 1 in the bottom of the inning, the game ends there. But right now your focus is getting this out probably at the plate, as if this ball does go in the outfield and fall, they will try to extend the game by sending the runner home. But at the same time, thinking about it from a strategic standpoint, you're up by 8 here. Do you really want to use an arm for 5 pitches? Probably not. You could, but I just really don't see it. The 2-1, swing and a miss, and we are even. Especially if he gets it done here, there's no need. 1 strike away. Phobel going for the complete game and going for the 9-1 win. OSF, they have battled well this morning. An early call time at 8:30. But they have answered the wake-up call, and they have responded with flying colors. But they will have at least 1 more pitch to throw. 3-2 the counts. If Gallup extends the game, it'll turn over to Smith. CBF, they're ready to go. They have made their way down to the lower bowl. Can Phobal end it here? OSF looking for win number 7 as well on the summer to improve to 7-2. Only 10 guys here today, but these 10 have given it their all, and they have battled quite hard for this team. Phobal to close it. The payoff pitch, it's well wide. And there's ball 4, so we will continue. It goes back to the question, do you make the pitching change? I think you let him try to get out of this. Going into a senior season over at Geneva High School. So, of course, not an easy drive for him this morning, coming from not too far away from the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. Of course, the Bruno Woodlanders up there a lot more noticeable than in kind of the heart of Cleveland. Believe me, driving up to Spire in December and January, it is bitter when you get out there. At least a good 15 degrees cooler. Could just be optics, could just be, well, in the car for a while and the heat and the cold do not mesh well. But still, definitely a interesting environment up in Geneva. Not a bad little town. Lead runner goes here, swing and a miss, throw down to third. It is going to be knocked down. You have to keep that ball in the infield. There is no way you can let that ball behind. And for Force, this one is interesting for them. You have a run 90 feet away. That would bring this game to the bottom of the 5th. It would be shocking, but it wouldn't be impossible. But of course, for Phobal, he needs to get out of this game. As well, time now 10:08. He's not just fighting for this run rule, he is fighting to simply save the pitching, which is a really big incentive for OSF. The 1-1 high and in. Once again, we'll have to tally it up at the end of the broadcast, but nearly 20 free passes today. 20. It's incredible. Definitely a tough morning, but OSF, as of right now, getting the better of Force. But we will have to see what happens in the bottom of the 5th now. It is 9-2. The run rule will not be in effect here. Force battling back in. And now for them, they have to go and hurry this up. If they want to see the 6th inning, they need their defense to come out and get a stand too. Because they're running out of time for that as well. But a 3-1 count on Smith with Lonzak in the on-deck circle. And there is ball 4. Back-to-back walks. It was 2 up, 2 down to begin the inning. Single walk. Time has been called. And I believe this is going to be the call of the bullpen. Phobal close to getting this one done. In the end, fell short with 2 away. And it looks like OSF will have to turn to somebody else to get the final out of the top of the inning. And then their offense needs to play at least 1 in the bottom to walk out of here in 5, if not more. But we'll see here. Is he going to stay on? They have not taken the ball away from him yet. That is the key thing to look at. If they don't take the ball, obviously he stays on. If they do, well, you kind of have your answer. And it looks like he is going to stay on. Definitely a tough call. You want to save your pitching, but you don't want this to become a crazy comeback for Force with 2 away. And you have to fight for your life in the bottom of the inning. Which, again, I think we will play 6 innings at the most in this game. Keep in mind, it's now 10:10. We have around 10 to 15 minutes to play. Not too much longer, but still runners at the corners, 2 away for Lonzak. And he will take high and out for ball 1. At the same time, are you really too anxious to make that change, knowing that if you just extend this inning and get it done late, that the run rule won't matter, but the time limit will? It's a tough call. It definitely is. It's one of those instances where I don't envy the coaches because, of course, you want to go out here and end the game as quick as possible. But you have to think about resources because if you use that pitcher, doesn't want to have to pitch again soon. Could be tough, of course. A lot of things can go into it as Lonzak fouls off the 1-1. I would say now a little bit later than expected. Game number 2 up next. I would say if we would have ended in 5, then we'd be well on track to start at 10:45, if not earlier. But right now, not so much. Runner goes over from first. Fly ball sent into right field. Brassfield is there, and he will catch up to this one to retire the side. But Force will keep this one going into the bottom of the 5th inning. OSF, they need one to get the run rule into effect. 9-2 your score in Kent.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
One of the weirdest concepts in travel ball, but one of the most fun. A chance for a walk-off winner in the 5th via the run rule. A walk-off win's a walk-off win, and OSF wants to do that right here as they will bring up 9-1-2 Nagy, McKinnon, and McCord as you are watching Kent State Invite Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Once again, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning, live from Olga Muro Field at Schoonover Stadium in Kent, Ohio. As we always say when we're here, just a beautiful complex at Kent State. Love the diamond here. It's definitely interesting to have some dirt underneath the carpet, so to speak, on the mound. Of course, that has led to some flooding in games that we have done here, but otherwise, a beautiful facility. Nagy will poke this one over towards short, and it's dropped. It'll be in a leadoff E6 for Nagy, and the winning run now stands at first for OSF. That's one of those that simply nothing you can do about it. Just couldn't get it out of the glove into the hand fast enough. And now you try to zoom around the bases to get this one done and dusted. If not, you have around 10 minutes to kind of twiddle your thumbs, so to speak, to get to the time limits. Fly ball sent into left field, and this one will be caught for out number 1. Even if we do get to the 6th inning, we will probably not see the bottom. I don't think we really can at this point. Unless we're going to go out here and get through this one quickly and just zoom through the game, which I don't think is going to happen. With McKinnon down, here comes Aiden McCord, the second baseman. And he will ground this one over towards Force's dugout. And a nice catch from Coach just outside the dugout. I've seen enough. Give him a glove. Looking like some strong defense in front of that dugout. Haven't really seen that all too much this summer. The coaching fielding plays have definitely taken a downward trajectory since the strong spring. But you know what? Force is bringing it back, and I respect it. We'll see if CBF can make one of their own in the next game. Yes, we're looking more at the coaches for some fielding than the players sometimes. It happens. You have to enjoy the obscure in baseball. Of course, every game, it's going to be different. You're not going to have the same game script in 2 games. This one very similar to what happened last week as McCord puts this one into left center field, and it's going to drop. Nagy will stop at third, and they'll put runners at the corners. A nice single there from McCord. But my point was, you go back to last week, that 10-0 game. Similar game script here. You do have all the free passes, but at the end of the day, both teams scored. Both teams had a chance early. The 5 runs in the second, that was really the only reason why it wasn't close at any point early on. But just beyond that, this one is a different game in my opinion. I don't think it's really that similar. Fly ball sent into right field. This could do it. It is going to be caught. The runner is going to tag up. The play at the plate. It's not going to happen. And OSF will have their walk-off. 10-2 your final. They get the walk-off win. The sac fly works out perfectly for Jason Rook. And OSF will begin their Kent State invite 1-0. And now we'll see if the umpires do officially enforce the run rule. It is 5 innings and 8-run deficit. There it is. It is officially called. Had to make sure, as we did have one last year at John Carroll, where it was 10 after 4. The run rule is in effect. We had one more at bat and then decided, you know what, we're done then. But we're done here. 10-2 your final. When we return, we will announce our player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center as you are watching Kent State Invite Baseball on SmeeSports.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Welcome back to Schoonover Stadium in Kent. 10-2 your final in today's opener. OSF improves to 7-2 on the year with a run rule win in 5 innings. Your player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. He's 2 for 2, reached on a hit by a pitch, had some good defense. And on top of that, his base hits were both bunt singles. Jeremiah Brassfield, the right fielder, is your player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. A do-it-all performance, offense, defense, good running, good baseball IQ, good everything for the Benedictine man out in right. To stay up to date on all the games that we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and TikTok, SmeeSports LLC on Facebook and LinkedIn, and SmeeFest 2024 on Twitter. And speaking of games that we are covering coming up, 30 minutes from now, game number 2 of the day, Force Ohio remains with us as we welcome in the Cleveland Baseball Federation. Should be a good battle coming up next here on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. But that'll do it for us here at Kent for game number 1. OSF with the run rule win 10-2 in the first of 4 games today for us at Schoonover Stadium. But I am Nathan Smee saying so long from Kent, and we will see you again in a few moments for game number 2 today as you are watching the Kent State Invite on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will hope to see you again in a couple minutes. If not, we'll see you again next time.